Hello, today we are going to be looking at a problem here where we are going to not only set up an inequality, but we are going to graph the solution to this inequality as well. So to look at this problem here, we have a couple of things I want to point out. It says Yolanda participated in a walkathon in which each kilometer walked raised $10. For charity. Her goal was to raise more than $300 on Saturday and Sunday. She raised $50 on Saturday. Which graph shows all the distances in kilometers that Yolanda could have walked on Sunday to reach her goal? Now, clearly this was a multiple choice question that we are going to actually just solve and graph on our own here. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do in a problem like this is, well, we need to graph the solution. We don't need to graph the numbers that we have here of 10, 350. We actually need to graph the answer to this problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up this inequality problem right here. So I'm going to first say, you know what are we trying to solve for in this problem? My goal in this problem is to find all the distances in kilometers Yolanda could have walked on Sunday to reach her goal. So I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to say let K equal our number of kilometers. I could be a little bit more specific, number of km on Sunday. Maybe we'll do that as well on Sunday. Step number 2 that I always do when I'm setting up either an equation or an inequality is find the total. What is the total amount of money? All three of these numbers are money. Which of these represents the total in this problem? And there it is. $300 is her goal. Or actually, more than $300 is her goal. So I'm going to start by writing that 300 on the right side of my inequality. And this is an inequality, so I do not want to have an equal sign. Now, it could be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. But in this problem here, it specifically says more than 300. So thinking of any numbers that are more than 300, I would include numbers like 400 and 1,000 and 1,000,000 and even 301. But 300 is not more than 300. So I'm going to use just a greater than sign. It cannot be equal here. Now we have some information here. We also know that we have two other numbers. We have a 10 and we have a 50. And one of these numbers has to do with the number of kilometers that Yolanda is going to be getting on Sunday. And our numbers here are 10 and 50. So let's take a quick look at what these numbers represent. 10 I underlined here is for each kilometer walked. And $50 is just specifically for Saturday. Well, the $50 for Saturday has nothing to do with our kilometers on Sunday, but the 10 does. Because for each kilometer walked, she is getting $10. 10 times K. We don't know what that number is, but we know if we multiply them together, it will give us her total for Sunday. Now, Saturday is already done with, but we need to add this to our total as well. Adding of that 50 here, and it has to be greater than 300. So at this point, I'm going to actually solve this problem because once again, we want to graph my solution to this problem. So I'm going to draw my line going down the center here and do the opposite of whatever operation we see so that eventually we have K on its own side by itself. So I see a plus 50. That means I do a minus 50. Good first step right there. It eliminates one of the numbers near my K. 10K. Sign does not change because we did not multiply or divide by a negative. Is greater than 250. So this is just looking at Sunday now. We got rid of the $50 we had for Saturday. So just Sunday alone, she needs to raise more than $250, which is a big increase from Friday, or from Saturday. And now my final step here, to get rid of this 10 next to the K, 10K means 10 times K. We are going to divide both sides by 10. Divide by 10, divide by 10. K, it has to be greater than 25. So now this is my inequality, and I am going to now want to graph this on my number line. So find out where the number 25 is, and we're going to write it right there. Now I could include some other numbers. I want to include some numbers that are greater and some that are less to really show this. I can count by ones, but I'm going to actually choose to count by fives here. And maybe show some of the smaller numbers here as well. Now, the most important thing in this problem, other than, of course, getting the answer of 25, is to know whether or not it is equal to that answer. This is greater than 25. So 25 is not a solution to this problem. But it's still super important because anything greater than that is. So even 25.1, as long as you get paid for every point of a kilometer, is going to get us more and more money. So I'm going to draw a circle at 25. And this indicates that it is not equal to 25, but 25 is still that important number in this problem. If I would have had this filled in, it would have been equal to 25, which this one is not. Now my last step right here is to see which way my line and arrow are going to go, which direction is K going to be greater than 25? Now, I'm just going to think of which numbers are greater than 25 and actually go ahead and substitute them in. 30 is greater than 25. 35 is greater than 25. 40 is also greater than 25. 20 is not. 15 is not. 10 is not. So this line here we're going to have drawn is going to be going to the right. And it could include any number because it is possible for Yolanda to go, 100 miles. It would be a little crazy, but it is possible she wants all that money. So there we go. There is the answer to this problem graphed on a number line.